What is up, guys? This is Pinzo back with another video today, and what I have for you guys is some more VOD review is kind of what these are. I don't know if that's exactly what you'd call this, but that's what I'm going to call it. So this is from SCRIM. So these are the teams. This is my team. We are called Rogue. We do have a sub. Bartledo is not our carry. Haru is our carry, but he was out of town. So Tekken solo, Appy mid, me supports, Nitro jungle, and then Haru is our normal carry. Bartle was subbing in. And the team we're playing against is currently going by Red Dojo. This is Wangle's team. This is Natty, Blue Jay, Wangle, Atomic, and Akaram. They're good. They're really good. All right, guys, before we jump into this is post Pinzo here. This is after I recorded the video. It got not necessarily rambly, but I maybe over-explained some things. If you guys like watch it on 2x speed, it's a doozy. It's still like the things that I'm over-explaining, like they're things that matter. Some of them are a little smaller. I probably could have explained it a little more concisely. So it's a doozy. Hopefully you guys still enjoy it. Let me know any questions, comments down below. If you guys need to watch it in 2 parts, that works as well. Let me know what you guys think of these really long, like super explained videos, because it's I like to know what you guys think. So thank you guys for watching. It's a long one. Strap in, grab a snack. I appreciate it. So enjoy. This game was good. I'm gonna skip into this because you guys, again, this is like I kind of want to skip to, you guys don't need to see us laning, right? If there's something like, again, this lane is pretty boring. All right, I'll just tell you up front. Nothing happens in this lane, in this duo lane. Like literally nothing happens. There are very few. There's like one gank over here in the first 10 minutes. So I'm gonna skip through this a little because this is actually a pretty long match. This was like a 40-minute match. So I am gonna skip through this a little bit. I'm probably here. Can I just like skip to like the 5-minute mark, and I'll catch you guys up. So yeah, 5-minute mark. Here we are. Appy had gotten killed in mid. He got ganked, got his force flashed, or his flash forced, excuse me, and then got ganked again, and went down. Right there, Nitro comes back in, gets a nice hook, pulls Appy, or gets Appy a kill. Right here, this is something that I'm going to explain the picks here and why a little bit, because this is where it starts mattering. So we have Howitzer. Howitzer's probably the best mid in the game right now. He's incredibly broken. His E is one of, if not the best basic abilities in the game, because it can pull people out of position without you going out of position, right? For a Sev to ult someone into his team, Sev has to go into the enemy team, right? Howitzer doesn't have to do that. It's essentially a ranged Sevrog ultimate. Think of it like that, on a 20-second cooldown, right? So it's a very, very good ability. Pair this with the Richter in the jungle. Richter is very, very good in the jungle, actually. He's probably the best tank outside of Rampage. Tekken Kid loves his crunch, so we just give him that. Bartle is convinced that Revenant's OP, and then you have Bellica supports. Decker is probably the #1 support right now, actually, in my opinion. Decker is very, very good. She has ranged stun. She has a lot of setup. She has a lot of area denial between her ultimate and her cage. It makes it so you can't walk where you want to go. Bellica is almost similar. Bellica, the more I play Bellica, the better of a support I think she is. And the reason for that is Bellica has the easiest multi-stun in the game, right? At least outside of ultimates. Bellica's stun, it's long range, it moves very fast, it goes through walls, and it's easy to hit multiple people with. If you compare that to something like a Narbash Thunk, right? Narbash Thunk, it is easy to hit. It is, a ranged stun, but it only hits one person. Right, if you put Bellica's stun on Narbash, he's OP, right? Because you can stun a bunch of people at a time. That's one reason that I really like Bellica. You'll see there's a couple times in this game where I'm stunning people through walls that's like plays no other support could make. So I think if you're willing to kind of learn how to position on this character, I think Bellica is actually kind of nuts as support. Here, this is something that you should do as Bell. The other reason that I think Bellica is good is you don't need XP on this character. It just doesn't matter. I can't explain it any better than that. Other than the XP on this character just doesn't matter. Your ultimate when you are playing support is borderline worthless, right? It does less than 10% of someone's health. It's single target. Yes, it's a lock on. You can use it to execute people. It has uses, but generally speaking, it just doesn't matter, right? So the thing about this character is you don't need XP for the early game. You need you need gold, right? But when you're running support crest, you have 90 seconds to rotate before you get 3 orbs. Once you get 3 orbs, you obviously have to be in a lane and proccing them so that you aren't burning gold. But you can rotate a lot on this character. Use your stun early. It's very, very powerful. And then you can worry about XP later in the game, right? Once you hit like level 9 on this character and get your stun max rank, you're good to go. Nothing else matters after that. So you can rotate a lot on this character. Her stun's really good, like I said. It just makes her all around a really good support. In this game, the build is going to be Moon Boots, Galaxy Greaves into Dynamo. I think this is actually a really good build on Bellica. A lot of time supports will go like, I'm trying to think, Hexbound Bracers is a pretty good starter, like Hexbound Dynamo. But the thing about Hexbound Bracers is like, yes, it has good CDR on it, but that's really all that it has. Like, it has some good defense and stuff like that. It's got the mana regen. But on Bellica, you actually have really good base mana regen, and Galaxy Greaves also gives mana regen. So Galaxy Greaves, it just got buffed as well, just by the way. It has more physical protection on it now. Right there, Bartle gets kind of caught. He just steps up a little too much. Kira dash in, Decker stun. There's not much I can do to save him there. That's a tough one. But Galaxy Greaves got buffed, so it's actually better now. First item. The thing about Galaxy Greaves is like, yes, it gives you protections, but what it really lets you do is dodge damage. If you jump, there are very few things that can hit you while you're in the air, and it literally just makes you take less damage, right? Because you can't get hit. So it's just something to think about. Get good at using Galaxy Greaves. You can jump over walls. You can get out of bad positioning a lot easier, which is something most supports can't do. Into Dynamo, gives you the Prot Shred, gives you a bunch of physical protections, gives you mana, health, gives you Prot Shreds when you stun someone. Really, really good. And then after that, in this game, I think I go into Tainted Scepter. Most of the time, I would recommend that be a Megacosm. And then after that, you can go into either more defense, or you can go like Megacosm, Tainted Scepter into some defense, right? You don't have to be full defense on this character. In fact, I would recommend going at least 1 damage item. Like, I would recommend having a Megacosm in your build. But this character can get away with a lot of stuff, but I like the Moon Boots into Dynamo starter. It feels really good. So for this game, at this point, this game is even, and this game actually stays even for about the first 20 minutes. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because nothing happens right here until their Chimera comes back. So it's 2-2 right now. My Howitzer, my Howitzer doesn't have both kills, but both kills are on the enemy mid. Right there, that's a miscommunication. My support, or my jungler did not know I was going to stun off of his ultimate, so the hook went under. If we communicate that right, Kira should die. We get both their blinks no matter what, so it's a decent trade in the end. And here comes Kai for this counter gank, and I'm saying I'm coming, I'm here. So we're totally good. You know, we just have to walk away, and then Kai makes like a blink ult here, which kind of surprised me. I don't get the stun on him. Even if I hit that, my carry's still probably gonna die. We probably return kill the Kai. With it happens. So keep in mind, I'm playing on East on these games. Okay, so 100 ping, that's what I'm gonna blame it on at least. Hopefully you guys somewhat agree. And all right, so they get they don't get Fang here because they were too low. They had to back up. So I'm gonna skip us a couple minutes in. Because again, so this is where some things start happening. So we're just kind of chilling in this duo lane. This is a really big miscomm. So our Howitzer shows up. He says, I'm here for mid. He's like, let's get these guys. I'm totally here for it. What I didn't know is that he was planning on blink plucking these guys. He was going to blink bomb and try and pull these guys out. If I knew that, I would have blinked in with him, right? I would have been there. We get Kira's dash. He's like, let's go. Unfortunately, the bomb goes the wrong direction. If he boops her back into us, that's a guaranteed kill. Just a bit of a miscommunication there. And then here the Gideon shows up. I'm just trying to stay out of line of sight. I'm good to fight. I have a ranged stun. I'm good to kind of stay in this, but I need to stay back. Howitzer gets caught by Gideon ultimate. They triple ult him right there. That was Kai, Decker, and Gideon ultimates. So we have the potential to try and fight this Fangtooth because they don't have any ultimates, but realistically, I'm really low. Richter is stronger as the game goes on. Our Revenant is a little bit you know, behind. He's died once as well. So here we call trade prime. Just trade prime. They're going to get Fangtooth. I had to back, so of course they're going to get it. And here I'm like, you know, I just backed. I got my Galaxy Greaves. I'm fast coming out of base. Let's go straight to prime. Let's see if we can burn this shit down. And then just, you know, get a mini prime for free. Our crunch rotates over. I peel off to zone here because it's more important for me to kind of like stop people from getting in. I'm literally doing like 50 DPS to this thing. Does not matter. And now you get a mini prime. So that's the kind of things you need to do. When someone gets something on one side of the map that you know you can't contest, like a Fangtooth after they forced you to back or got a kill, stuff like that, you have to get something somewhere else. What happens if you don't get something somewhere else is what starts happening is you give up a lot of stuff without getting anything, and then you actually are behind, right? If you just start conceding Fangtooth and then concede like your towers because now you can't fight because they have a Fangtooth and they're ahead, right? If you do that for the first 20 minutes of game, you've already lost. You have to get some value somewhere on the map. Whether that's, you know, we see them going for that Fangtooth, so we rotate 3 to solo lane and get a kill, right? Maybe that's the play. The point is you have to return something or else nothing, like it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to happen. You're going to lose. You're just getting 0 value for free. Here we try to come back to the duo lane to get this gank. They get a really nice disengage with a cage here. So yeah, unfortunate. Stun doesn't reach that far. But we do still have a mini prime. Like we can make some plays with this. Yeah, so here, I'm going to skip us ahead a little bit again. Just here, one sec. Was that a scoreboard? Show me the scoreboard. Okay, so this is the scoreboard right now. This is 15 minutes into the game. CS is almost even. We are 36 CS up. If you guys can't see this is 500. Most of that, I believe, is on Tekken right now. Yeah, Tekken himself is 30 CS up, 150 to 113. Tekken's a bully. He's really good at solo lane. He's always ahead. So now, like, we know Tekken's ahead. He's died once, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna skip us a little further into this. He gets 4-manned right there. That's just Appy. Appy is literally just trying to farm, and they 4-man him in mid. So here we have 4 in mid. We're gonna have to give up this tower. There's nothing we can do here. Bartledew is rotating over, so we can potentially look for exit frags here, but we're never going to save that tower. Like, if they're going to commit 4 to that tower, to a tier 1 in mid, that's fine. They're trading back the tier 1 we already stole, so it's whatever. Right here, my Richter is saying, I have flash ult, and I'm like, I'm here. Like, I'll flash stun off of his ult if he goes for it. Doesn't end up going for it. Kai rotates to left, and we say, you know, just follow these guys. We can do something here. And here, you're going to see a couple plays here that only Bellica can make. And this is a reason that I really like this as support, actually. So their whole team rotates over, and the main thing here is that my howitzer is not here yet. So this is a 4v5, and my crunch is half HP. So this is not a fight we want to take. It is, period. We should run away right now. This right here is a play that only Bellica can make as a support, okay? I am 10 feet away from my Richter. There are 2 people on him, and I'm going to stun both of them, right? If I'm playing Narbash, I have to pick someone to stun, right? Not Bellica. She doesn't have to choose. Any other support, Richter, has to choose one to hook unless he's going to walk up and ult, right? Steel, yes, you can ult, but otherwise I have to walk up to micro stun these guys with my right click. Bellica just gets the same stun value from range. It's actually crazy that this ability is on a burst mage. It's actually kind of wild to me. The more I play her, the more that I think this ability is a little bit overtuned. Like that right there, that's a play. My Richter blinks out, but that's a play that only Bellica support can make. Decker potentially can make that if they're hugging each other, but still. And then I'm going to whiff a stun right here that would have been a free kill on Sevarog. I'm going to blame East Ping again, but really I just whiffed that one. Now our carry is here. Bartledew picks up the Sevarog, and now Howie's here. Howie comes in the back. This late rotation, we're looking to re-engage. We're looking to fight this again. And then they make a good play here. I'm not going to lie. They make a good play here. So me and my Richter follow Appy on this Howie. if you look at this solo lane, Bartledew on the carry, he gets collapsed on by the enemy Kira and Gideon. They collapse on him and they get him, which is a really nice play for them to make. He used his ult on the Sevarog, so he doesn't have that anymore, and they make a really nice play to get value on the backside of this fight. So yeah, here we are tracking down a Kai, and then I turn around and look to peel. And right here, this is another miscomm. This is just like us kind of getting used to playing with each other. I say, I'm executing Kira. I'm executing Kira. And I'm just going to ult her. She's really low. She has 0 mana. My ult is just going to kill her. And Appy blinks in for this. My Howie blinks right there. Just a miscomm. A waste of a blink. If he would have stayed on high ground, would have been totally fine. Miss everything else. That's fine. We end up getting out of this fight. It's a 1 for 2 at the end of the day. We lost our carry, but we got their carry and their solo laner. Honestly, a fairly even fight. Like, realistically, it's a fairly even fight. So that's not too bad. Here, we're looking to go back towards Fangtooth because that fight in solo lane lasted for a really, really long time. And here, this is another comm that I'm calling out right now. I'm saying I have upgraded stun. For those of you who don't know, Bellica's passive, when she maxes out an ability, when she gets 5 points in an ability, she gets an added effect to it. Her stun goes from a 1.1 second stun to a 1.6 second stun, which is very, very long. It's a very long stun for a ranged multi-person stun, right? That's actually insane. So here I'm calling that. And just so you guys know, if you guys are playing Bellica support, max your stun first. Don't max your bomb. Don't max your drone. Your drone sucks percent current mana. So anyone under like half mana, the drone doesn't do jack shit to, right? Like the one exception to that is if you're playing against a Narbash in lane, maybe you max your drone first. But even then, I would rather have the upgraded stun earlier in the game, like you're seeing here. So max your stun first, guys. Anyway, we're going into this fight. They're on this. And we know it, right? Like, we're all staring at this. We see the Sevarog behind us. Solo laners are coming in behind. So there's 4 on this, and there's 4 of us here, solo laners coming in late. My Richter here is going to make a play, and I'm going to leave him, right? He knows what he's doing. His goal is to get to the Fangtooth and smite it, right? That is all that he wants to do. He just wants to use his hunt. He has upgraded hunts. Both hunts are upgraded right here. You know, there's no advantage either side. It's a 50-50. He just wants to get there and hunt this. So I am going to look to kind of follow him, peel, and then I'm going to peel off and try and help my howitzer because he's been really big this game. My carry is a little bit behind, so I don't really care about him. I'm kind of going to leave him to dry here. But yeah. So here in goes Nitro looking for the hunt. He gets it, which is actually wild. Like, I don't think they had a hunt stack. And the call here. This is actually a really good call. So I'll give you guys comms on this. Because it's actually a good call. Oh, I hate this player, dude. Gideon finish. You guys here. I'll just give you comms for this fight. How's that?
So on.
I'll let you guys listen to it and then I'll explain at the end.
I don't know if they started.
Now they're on it. They're on it.
5K.
Yep. 4K, 3K.
We have silence. We have silence for camera. I got it.
I can't get in. Yeah. Can we just walk out? Can we walk out?
Yeah, he's off you.
I got him. I got a double. It's actually pretty nice. Oh,
I couldn't get back onto the ledge.
I just leave.
No, oh, dude, that would have been nice.
That would have been so sick.
That was a good.
Okay. So that's the fight. And I just said it. I just summed it up. That was 3 for 2 with a Fangtooth. We lost 3 because our carry went down also in that fight. And we got 2 return kills and we got the Fangtooth. So that's really important because they'd gotten the first Fangtooth. We had to give it up, right? Getting the return Fangtooth means that we don't have to fight the next one. And that's really big. So you guys, in case you guys are wondering, right? First Fangtooth is extended buff duration, 50% increased buff duration. It adds 30 seconds to all the buffs on the map. The second Fangtooth is out of combat movement speed, which doesn't seem like it's OP, right? But the thing about losing the second Fangtooth is that the third Fangtooth is 8% increased protections and power. So if you lose the second Fangtooth, you have to fight the third one because the third one is a really big power spike. So what we're doing here is we're opening up the map. If we now are in a really bad spot in 5 minutes when the next Fangtooth spawns, we can say, let it go, right? We can say, let it go. Let's look for something else on the map. We can do that if we want. Now, because we got that, if we didn't get that Fangtooth, we would be in the position where it's like, okay, well, we kind of have to fight this because it's third Fang. Like, we got to make a play here. Puts you in a bad spot. So that's actually really important for us to get. It's more important than you would think. It really is. So here, this is still a pretty even game, right? It's 1-to-1 Fangtooth, 6 kills to 10 kills. We're obviously behind in kills, but as far as map pressure goes, we're actually pretty good, right? Keep in mind, we got the mini prime earlier to trade out their Fangtooth. So, you know, global gold XP is actually pretty close right now. And we got their mid tower. They traded out ours. They have our duo lane tier 1 as well. So we're, you know, like map pressure here is pretty even all around. It really is. Looking at builds right now. Here, where did the build? I'm gonna try and pause on the old tab screen here because there's a couple things that matter. Here, I'm trying to decide between Megacosm and Tainted. I end up going Tainted Scepter. They have a Chimera. It gives you bonus damage. It still has 20 haste, which is the biggest part about biting these items is the haste it gives. So here, I know that Gideon has True Silver finished. That's really big. I know that this Sevarog has no magical defense. He has nothing. That's pretty big to know. Looking at their carry, he has an Imperator finished. That's also really big to know, right? You do need to pay some attention to this because it does matter. Their Chimera has no physical defense. He's actually really squishy right now. He has Overlord into Mallet. He's very squishy right now. So just pay attention, especially like power items don't matter as much, but defense items that enemies have actually do really matter. So try and keep an eye on it when possible. I went to church this morning. It's Easter when I'm recording this, by the way. Went to church this morning, got some coffee on the way home. Maple syrup plus like half a scoop of chocolate powder in oat milk latte, top tier. Cold, no ice is how I drink it. That's the coffee drink of choice, just by the way. Cold, no ice. They let me make it. I used to work at the coffee shop, so they let one of my friends was working there. Maggie, she let me go around the counter and make it myself. So big fan. But yeah, this game, it's really even. You're gonna see here they actually, this game would have been a lot closer. Right now I would call this game even, right? Obviously we're down kills, but that doesn't matter. Like kills realistically don't matter, especially when we have a Revenant. The thing about Revenant is that Revenant getting 1 kill is equal to like 3 kills for any other character. So as soon as you have a Revenant, kills don't matter. This is 21 minutes in. We're kind of just footsying here, and they get a really good gank on mid here. So I'm going to do my best to peel for my mid laner, but I'm going to end up sacrificing him. That kind of stun right there is something that, again, realistically only Bell can make that kind of play. Bellica's just actually broken. They get a really nice cage here. So this is something I'm going to point out about my build and how I play Bellica supports, because I think I've kind of cracked it, right? I obviously need to get better at my stuns. I've whiffed a couple this game, right? But I think I've kind of cracked how to play it. They're kind of like focusing me right here. Like I'm getting hit by a Decker. I'm getting hit by a Kira right now. I'm really tanky. I have Moon Boots and Dynamo finish. I'm actually quite tanky right now. And here's the other part you're going to see about Moon Boots. I talked about this a little bit earlier. The potential to dodge damage. Watch my positioning. Watch how I get out of this fight here. So I stun Kira, get out. But like, watch how I get out of this fight. Oh, this is the wrong fight. Okay, I'm completely, I was misremembering this. Right here, I do a bunch of return damage. Sorry, there's another fight later. It must be on this next prime that I'm thinking of. So I lied. But here I take a bunch of damage. I get a stun off, hit the Kira. What I should have done, what I'm talking about later, you guys will see it later, If I jump right now, if I just press spacebar and with my moon boots, I can get on top of this ledge over here and I'm completely fine. I live through this entire fight because no one can hit me if I just jump onto this ledge. I do it once later. Right here, I don't even know what I was thinking. I think I was just worried too much about trying to get some return damage, and I wasn't thinking about it enough. So here, this fight gets really sloppy. Our solo laner gets kind of tunnel visioned here. He ends up blinking in, going after this Kai. He's gonna end up falling, but we end up like getting a decent trade here. It's passable. Again, this isn't great, but it's passable. So right now, this is 2 for 0. We've lost 2 for 0. Our crunch goes down. That makes this 3 for 0. Which is a bad trade, right? This is not a good trade. The upside here is that they had to back, right? Kai had to back, Kira had to back. They were all low. So we know that when I get here, this is a 3v2 actually. Like Kira's coming in, so it's sort of a 3v3. Like they're low. So Decker ends up going down right away. Sevrog obviously can't come in. Kira can't come in. And here, this is something that you guys need to learn how to do as support, especially when you're playing tanky supports. If you watch my positioning right here, watch my positioning relative to my Revenant. So I get the stun on Decker. My Revenant is going to ult and kill her. Watch where I stand while he's killing her. He's shadowed right here. He's going to walk right past me. This Kira wants to kill him. He's basically full health. She would not be able to kill him anyway, I don't think, unless Sevrog like turned around and went back in, but you know, he's obviously no mana, low health. I don't move, right? I don't want to give up this space while my Revenant's backing up. I want to keep this space right here. Because if I back up while my Revenant's still backing up, it gives this Kira the option to go in, right? I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to kind of use my body, use my health bar. Again, I'm tanky. I have a full health bar, a full mana bar here. I'm just going to use these resources as sort of a way to force these guys out of this space. Like I'm giving my Revenant a free walk away. Right, I'm just holding this space, and like that's the thing. Gideon shows up, right? So if I give up this space, if I fully back off here, and they see that, and my Revenant is still, you know, standing here trying to retreat, Kira and Gideon portaling in, like that's deadly, right? They could totally have killed my Revenant there. As a support, you have to learn how to kind of use your body to keep space. And also, this is Moon Boots, just by the way. I dodge all of his damage by just pressing spacebar. It's something that's super underrated. So buy Moon Boots on support. They just buffed them. It's the best change they've made in a patch in the last 2 months, was buffing Moon Boots. So buy Moon Boots. I buy them on quite literally every support outside of maybe Decker. Decker's the one possible exception because her passive is basically Moon Boots, right? All in all, Moon Boots OP. Buy Moon Boots. They give the best split defenses in the game. They give 70 total defense. They give haste, they give mana regen, they give you essentially, they make you take, they essentially give you stasis is the way that I like to think of it. Because that's really what it is. It's literally just like maybe closer to 2 whole seconds where you're in the air, where you basically just can't take damage. So it's, yeah, very important. Buy Moon Boots. I think they're broken. That people are going to figure it out eventually. That like you can counter them a couple ways. I'm not going to tell you how, but it's important. So here the call comes in. They're trying to trade this. That's the call that comes in. So here I'm going to unmute this and I'm going to let you guys play through this fight because this one's really important. This is us.
I can zone him out. Like
They thought we were going to go for this Fangtooth. We were. They're a little bit ahead right now, and they think that they can trade out this Prime. That's their call. So we're gonna come in behind here. I'm just gonna let the fight play. And I'll talk about it.
We gotta fight.
Here, one sec. I'll rewind.
I can zone him out while you guys do it if you guys want to.
I mean, me and Tech can zone.
They're on right now.
No, we gotta fight. We gotta fight. They're gonna get farmed by this. They're getting farmed.
Nice.
Got him?
Nice, we just go prime now.
Yeah, we just kill Prime.
Yeah, just stay on this.
Stay on it.
Yeah. I'll zone. Yeah, Blue Jay's not making it into this.
Go Fang.
Fangtooth.
Straight to Fang.
Okay. So
Fangtooth,
I'm gonna
right.
pause it. I'm gonna rewind this because there's a couple things that matter that I see, and I want to make sure that I can point them out to you guys. There's a couple like big things that happen at the beginning of this fight that are what I'm looking at. back. It's 20 seconds. Okay,
Yep.
it's
Okay, I got
gonna start from here, I guess. So there's a couple things that happen at the beginning of this fight. The first one is, keep in mind, this is a 23-minute prime. They don't have the damage to shred this. They don't, they have a Sevrog solo, like they do have a Kira, they do have a Kai, like those are some fairly high damage objective people. Like they don't have the damage to shred this. They're not doing this in 30 seconds, right? So we have the time to wait, group up, and watch, right? We get to stare at them. They're gonna take a lot of damage. As soon as that first wave of missiles comes out of prime, it does a lot of damage. Even if 5 people are tanking it, it does a lot. Like a level 11 carry, it's going to take like a quarter of their HP from it. So walking into this, my call is, I'm like, just wait. They're getting farmed. The longer they stay in the pit, the easier this fight is. And then right here, so this is a big one. Decker's zoning alone. 4 people in the pit. My howitzer, his call right before that fight was, I'm backing, I have Wraith leggings finished. Huge power spike for a howitzer to get Wraith leggings online. Massive power. So I know that he's here. My Richter's not even here yet. I don't give a shit. Howie's here, Crunch is frontlining for me. I'm ready to go in. And then this is another big one. So right here, Kira. The missiles came out, by the way. My Howie is doing damage over the wall to this Kira as well, but the missiles come out of prime. She's running away. She's going to get booped back into the pit. Howie's going to get a mine on her back into the pit. Right there. That's a howitzer mine, which is just hilarious. Again, ranged Sevrog ultimate is what that ability is. It is look how far away he is. He is not in the pit. He is outside of the pit right now. He's on our side of the pit, and he just Sevrog ulted their Kira. So Kira goes down instantly to howitzer. I get a nice stun on Sev. Crunch goes into the pit, kills the Gideon, and now the 2 people that were left in the pit, the 2 squishies that actually do damage, both dead. We're looking at these guys. They're all going to run away. My team calls pick up prime because it's half HP. So we're going to get this for free. As soon as I see my Richter, I'm like, okay, I'll zone. We have smite. They don't, I'll make sure that their Kai can't get in. So I saw him. If I didn't see Kai, I would stand at that opening. Because I knew where he was, I'm going to follow him up the stairs a little bit, right? I know where he is. So I just don't want him to be able to get in. So here we call Tekken split off. Tekken go left lane. He can push this all he wants. He's a Crunch. As long as he doesn't do anything dumb, we're fine. Call is just go get Fangtooth. Howitzer backs, grabs right wave coming out. We're going to get this Fang for free. And then here we misplay again. This is going to be another misplay. So watch Tekken here in left lane. First of all, okay, this is the sad part because he DCs right here. he's about to DC. Even if he didn't DC, he is not positioned properly. If you look at the rest of our team, we are just finishing Fangtooth. They know, the enemy team knows we're on Fangtooth. They're respawning. Kira's up. You can see her on the map already. Gideon's just respawning. We're all going to go push right. That's what we want to do here. What Tekken is doing is it's just greedy, right? Look at, he has a minion wave coming here. If you are the solo laner in this, if you're this Crunch, what you need to do is wait. You need to back up and you need to be far enough away from their tower that you can't get punished. That's the important thing, is you need to be far enough away to where you're not in danger of dying. Because if you die, now we don't have split map pressure. If you wait for us to get a wave in right lane and get like up here to this tier 2, while you're in that other lane, they either need to full commit and kill you, or they will have to, if they're all over there and they're defending that, they're going to give up the right lane tier 2 for free. Or they send people over to right lane because there's 4 of us over here, and then Tekken gets the left lane for free, right? So you put pressure on both sides of the map. When we have prime, it makes it really, really easy to force those objectives. So if you do that, then we split this map. We play this a lot cleaner. Unfortunately, Tekken's gonna disconnect here, and then they're gonna kill him because he's sitting in their tower while he's like right now he's disconnected. There he goes. He's like sitting in their tower, so he's just gonna die. We're just gonna push this right lane. This is it's just a bit of a greedy play. I don't know when exactly he DC'd. I don't know if he walked forward while he was DC'd or whatever. But the point is, if he stands like back here at this tier 1, he's playing Crunch, so he can dash the hell away whenever he wants. But if he just stays back, he pulls map pressure over there, and we get this tier 2 for free. He probably gets the left tier 2 for free because people tend to freak out when that happens. They'll like send everyone over to you, but you'll get it too fast because they don't send people over in time, and then they sent everyone over, so then your left lane gets it anyway, right? That's sort of what happens. People freak out a little bit. So unfortunately, we get a couple towers off of this. We're just gonna shoot it back out. I've got 2k gold in hand. And now we're at this point, it is 9-14. We are 5 kills down. We are in total control of this game. We are 100% in control. 2 Fangs, as if Tekken wasn't DC'd, we would be even more in control. Even with Tekken DC'd, we can actually like take fights right here, and we can actually win them, which you will see as we go. We actually do win the next fight, which is something that is kind of whack. So I'm gonna skip ahead here a little bit because we kind of just. Let's see a little bit while we're waiting for Tekken to reconnect. Because that's sort of what we're waiting for right now, right? We don't want to fight 4v5s. We actually, Wangle came into our comms and was like, hey, do we want to keep going? Do we want to just like F6 this and go next kind of? No, we're like, just keep playing. We're fine. Okay. He's like, okay, we're good. We'll keep going. We keep playing here. And what we're looking for is just an opening, right? We have 4. We don't really need to push because our prime's falling off. You know, we're down a player, that kind of stuff. It's just not a great position for us to be in, even though we're ahead. Yeah, right here is where Wangle asks us. He's like, yo, you guys good to keep going, or are we pausing? So skipping ahead a little bit. We're looking for anything in the map. I have my Tainted Scepter online. Tainted Scepter is really good, actually. Even in support, it does bonus true damage, which adds up throughout a fight. Like, it's not a lot. It's the first proc is like 100, and then each one after that is, 10. But it adds up from a support. It also gives 20 haste. So you'll notice right here, my stun is on like a 6-second cooldown. It's actually crazy. And right here, we still don't have Tekken, but our call is we're asking, can we fight this? Can we fight this? And we're like, yes, Gideon's not here. This is a 4v4. He's split pushing. This is a 4v4. Let's fight. So we're totally good to like actually take this, which is what we're looking at. So we're gonna footsie a little bit here. We're looking for this. I don't even know exactly why we're fighting here. We don't need to, but they're fighting because they have a split pusher, right? So we don't have prime. Fangtooth's not up for like 90 seconds. So whoever loses this fight can still get back to this to defend it. But we're just kind of footsying. We're just kind of jockeying for some positioning here. You can see our team's a little more spread out. They're pretty grouped right here. And then Nitro is going to make a play. We're just kind of footsying. When I say footsie, it's kind of just like a ground battle, right? Footsy's kind of a fighting game term. But Nitro's going to make a play here. I'm trying to get wards so we can see through this fog wall. Nitro here on this Richter is going to hit a really nice hook up through this fog wall. We're going to get a lot of damage on Decker. Probably not worth the Richter ult, to be completely honest. Our carry was not in position to do damage. Otherwise, we kill her right there. Here I'm calling, if they walk this, I've got stun. If they walk through this wall. Moon boots right here. Boom. I get to take a better pathing. I get to try and catch up to this guy. Not going to get it, but we poked out their Decker enough. Sevrog is low on mana, so we're good to just kind of strip this jungle and look for this Fangtooth. This is Primal Fangtooth. So, I call it, sorry, I was listening to what the exact call was. The call was, Primal Fang coming up, and someone's like, yeah, we got it. And I said, no, I'm like, it's hard to kill. This is really hard to kill. It's harder to do than Prime. Does a lot of return damage. And here we make a very, very good call. I'm really proud of my team right here, actually, because they listened to me. They listen. Me and Appy are on the same page here, but the team listens. So we see Decker watching. We know their team is like, I can see Sev here. We know their team's coming into this, and we've only done 6k to this. The call is just literally, it's just like run away. Just get out. They can't do this. We can't do this. Let's just leave. We end up, what we should have done, we should have had our team instantly back. A couple of people needed to reset, like Appy really needed to buy an item. Someone else, like maybe our Rev wanted to back and buy an item. I have like 800 gold here and I don't have a reason to back. So I'm calling it out. I'm like, I'll stay. I'll keep them off of this, right? I can sit here. I can zone them. I can make sure I can be annoying enough to where they can't do primal for free. That's kind of my call. So I'm like, yeah, back, take your backs. We can defend this. They can't do this while you're gone. And then Nitro is going to get a little bit of just caught out here. They catch him going through this fog wall. He just takes a bit of greedy pathing back into our jungle. Instead of going through lane, he goes through the jungle. Gonna get jumped on here, but he makes some plays. So first he blinks away, right? I'm trying to peel in the back. Unfortunately, I only hit one, but I'm kind of peeling here. Watch this Richter ultimate that Nitro unleashes. It's a 3-man ultimate right there. So he lives, right? Well, he dies right there. He should have died about 10 seconds ago, right? So that's a really, really nice individual play from Nitro to stay alive, to bait longer, to, you know, to just stay, to be in this fight. And then this Kai follows me. I think he thinks I'm squishy or something like that. Like, he's never going to kill me. And then Appy shows up, and I'm like, stun. I'm just calling stuns when they happen. Get his blink instantly. I get peeled here. I'm going to end up blinking out because Sev's spooky. Appy hits an unfortunate cleanse. Right when I hit the 2-man stun, Appy stasises, which is just a little unfortunate. Like, he's probably dead there even without stasis, but that's an unfortunate trade, but some people made some really good plays. Nitro extends the fight a lot, allows us to get in. We end up trading 4 for 2, but we get their carry, and the reason that's important is because now they can't do primal. Their Kai was really low, he has no blink, and that means that they literally can't do primal. Kai would die to it. And so here's another thing that you guys need to pay attention to. I'm not even paying attention to this. My team's actually paying attention to this. The call right here is here. I'll let you guys listen to it.
Good.
Someone just backed. 2 of them just backed.
Did you guys see it?
Resetting, then we're good.
Did you see it? Because you can see it right here through the item screen. Right there. You see that sky beam? See that sky beam? That's when people back. You can see that across the map. Anytime you can see, like, above someone, you can see that sky beam. And you can see that they've backed. When it goes all the way up, when it shoots all the way up, that's when they back. So we know 2 people just backed. I'm assuming that's Kai and Sev. They were the lowest. We know maybe even the 3rd one backed. We don't know, right? 2 people just backed. They're not on primal because they can't do it, because they had to just back. So we have time here. Little things like that, just paying attention, like, all the time on the map, is like, especially like when you're dead, right? Paying attention for your teammates, watching through your teammates' point of views, you know, that kind of stuff is really important. And that's, like, right there. We know they can't do this primal because they just backed. Stuff like that. It's just little things. Here we get a really nice combo onto Gideon. Gideon's going to die in this ultimate to Razorback, actually, which I think is just hilarious. I can't really do anything to him. I ulted him just to get some damage onto him because he's the only person that my ult really affects. Yeah, he's going to die to Razorback here, which I just think is kind of funny. Yeah, Richter goes down here. I'm trying to peel. Sev comes around. So here, right here. This is probably the biggest play in this game that I would point out as only one support in the game can make this play. Okay, watch this. Just watch this. One support in the game can hit that double stun from this position. Okay, one support, right? Steel potentially can ult over the wall. All right, sure. If you want to waste your ultimate. Me, that was a 7-second cooldown that I wasted to hit a double stun through the wall. It would have been a triple stun, but my Rev killed the Kira, right? That's something, and obviously I did 10 damage to these guys with that stun, right? Obviously. But the point being that Bellica support, when you can position through walls, when you can position around your team, like once you get, like, good at realizing the positioning on this character, you can do things that no other support can do. And I think it's just really, really impactful. So here, I'm just trying to keep Sev away from me. It works. He ends up dying. That's all that matters. I'm just trying to keep him off of me right there. I use my Silentium so that he can't just eat me, and I'm just like, oh, got a stun. Appy hits a nice boop. We're good to go. So that fight comes back down to, that was 2 for 4. Right now we're trading back into these guys pretty well. Even after that one kind of disastrous fight around Fang, where after Nitro gets picked, we come back in and actually do have a really nice fight. So, you know, even in these games where we're down kills, we're kind of up some map pressure. Like, this game's still pretty even all around. But you're going to see a couple big plays are going to come out of Appy, especially, who was kind of popping off at the end. So I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. Yeah, so right here. This is where the next fight begins. This is on Prime. I'm pinging. There's 4 here. There's 4 here. Someone says Nitro go in. And he's like, okay. And so he just does. I love it. I love it. He just goes in, hooks who he can, ults who he can. We get Sevarog's Thorns, his Razorback, which is really big. Got his ult too. That's his full disengage. Now we're not scared of Sevarog. He doesn't do anything anymore. So that's a full disengage. Right here. Moon Boots. Moon Boots, people. Bye. Moon Boots. Jump up. I missed the stun. Doesn't matter. Now I'm in their backline, right? I'm in their backline for free. I didn't have to use any sort of movement ability. I didn't have to burn my flash to get up there, right? Doesn't matter. I literally jumped up there by pressing spacebar. It's something that only Moon Boots can give you, right? Like, very few characters have that kind of vertical mobility in this game. Moon Boots is really, really good, especially on support. So here we kill one person, we TKO a couple others, force them back to base. Team is just calling Prime. So I'm gonna hit this with a bomb. It does 10 damage, and then I'm gonna walk away and I'm gonna zone. So right here, this is a support play. So right here, I'm watching Decker and Kira come in behind me from stairs. But about 10 seconds ago, if you guys noticed, I saw Chimera in mid lane. He was clearing a wave. Realistically, Kira and Decker should not be able to get this Prime. Period. They just shouldn't. There's a world where Decker stuns down my Richter for 10 seconds and then Kira steals it, right? That happens. We have a Howitzer, way more burst damage than Kira. We have a Richter that has upgraded Hunt, which is a free objective secure, and Nitro's really good at it. So I'm confident in his abilities to secure it over their duo lane. So I'm looking for Kai. I'm only looking for Kai here, which is exactly what I do. I literally just called it. I said, I don't care about anyone else. He starts fighting me. And here's what I was talking about, jumping onto this ledge. He was, I don't know why he was hitting me. But he was going after me instead of trying to go for the Prime. I'll take it. I don't care. Does not affect me at all. Here we get a nice pick. And here this is another call that I'm really proud of my team for listening on, is just go Prime. Go Primal. We don't chase. We got a pick. The Gideon was already dead. He just respawned. We don't need to chase in there. A lot of people in that situation would have chased that team to the ends of the earth, right? Instead of just backing up and getting an objective. So I'm really proud of the team there. They listened to the call, which is huge. Appy makes a nice play. He says, I have to reset. I'll grab mid out of base. Mid was pushing towards us pretty hard. He says, I'll grab it out of base. We're good to go. He gets the mid wave pushed up. Left is in their inhib. Here, now we have Primal and Prime. And the enemy team here is going to make some mistakes, actually. Which I don't normally point out, just because I like to point out like our team's mistakes a little more. But this is something that you can't really do. So what's going to happen is the enemy team going to just straight up, they're going to give up 3 inhibs. They're not going to fight us on a single one. They're going to do nothing. And this is, I will say this, there's some nuance to this, right? This is a tough call because on one hand, the enemy team has Prime and Primal. What are we supposed to do about it? On the other hand, if inhibs go down for the next 5 minutes, right? That's the respawn timer on inhibs for those of you who don't know. What are you going to do? You farm for the next 5 minutes, but like we probably just end the game anyway because we can all in your core because you like, that's just how it works. Also right here, watch, this is Howie being OP. Watch this Sevarog's HP bar. Because this is Howie right here. It's so dumb. But anyway, yeah, now we have 3 inhibs down. They just didn't contest anything, which is just one of those things where eventually you have to take a stand. In this game, it's really hard to fight outside of your base, compared to something like Smite, because in this game it's so open in your base that it's hard to like get people together to fight, right? If you think of the inhib area, right from the inhibs to the core is it's literally like playing a game of arena in Smite. It is just a big open area where nothing else happens, right? It's just big and flat. Here we're just kind of pushing in and we're just waiting. We have Primal for another, at least another minute. We have Prime for another minute. Primal is actually about to fall off. Well, I guess maybe it's going to fall off in 40 seconds or so. So we're just like, wait, let's just wait. We have good pick potential. We need to wait for our minion waves to come in anyway. We have Richter hook. We have Bellica stun to set it up. We have Howitzer bomb to set it up. know, we have a lot of stuff here that we can win us this fight for free. We just need to play patient. We're just playing patient. And then it happens. Howie bomb. Hook. Ult. Stun. Big wombo onto Sevarog. He blinks out. Doesn't matter. Sevarog is their only tank in this game. He's their only tank. Us getting him to 10% HP, him blinking away, don't care. Now we're to the point where their whole team has no front line. If you think about this in a like, this is maybe more of an FPS, like more of an Overwatch sort of thought mentality, right? Your tank is supposed to make space. That is their job. Between health bar, CC, you know, if they have some sort of, like in Overwatch, you know, you'd have a shield, that kind of thing. Your job is to make space for your carries to work with. In this game, you can see their Decker's in base as well, but their Sevarog's really like their only tank. He's the only one on their team that can make space. Right now, he cannot make that space. Do you see how far back their carries are? Like, their carries are 1 mile away from us. We are in zero danger right here. We have minions coming in. You know, this core is just kind of going to drop. Gideon's going to jump in and try and do something. But I tried to silence him there, right there, but he was out of range. And we just get core for free. As soon as we TKO that Sevarog, they don't have anyone on their team that can make space anymore, right? That's just it. Their space is gone. They just lost all positioning in that fight because Sevarog's out of there. It's the one kind of downside to playing a comp that only has one tank, is if that tank dies, you now have no way to make space. Like, even this Crunch, this is tank Crunch, right? Mutilator tank. Who is Richter is full tank. It's just like they need to do that so that they can make space. End of this game, I am like, this is a pretty good game. The rest of my build, I was going into a Tainted Totem this game for the split defense. Something I've been trying out a little bit. If you go Galaxy Greaves and Tainted Totem, those are both split defense items. It's 75 physical prots and 60 magical prots if you buy those 2 items, which is like, realistically, it's better than if you were to buy a physical item and a magical defense item. Like, it's actually a really good combo, and I've been messing with it a little bit. I'm not positive if it's the best thing to do all the time, but when they have a Sevarog and a Chimera, I don't mind going both. Even if it slows down my build a little bit, you know, it's a good item. So this was a really good game. This was probably the most competitive game of whatever this game is, Predecessor. Sorry, I just lost the name of the game, bro. It's been a long day. This is probably the most competitive game of Predecessor I've played in a long time, right? Maybe not ever, but in a long time. So this is just, I wanted to give you guys a bit of a look into like some actual competitive gameplay, what games look like late game, like in those fights around Prime. You don't see a lot of those fights where the game is even, right? In your solo queue games, I'm going to make the assumption that most of the time when some team is pulling Prime, it's either like a throw call or they're so far ahead it doesn't matter, right? Like there's not a lot of times where you get those late game fights where like decision making and targeting matters, right? In these kind of games where they're even, those things do matter. So here I am just trying to explain some of that. I rambled a really long time on this video, so this was a long game. It was a 38-minute game, but the recording is like 55. So I apologize that I rambled for so long, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm just going to upload this. Please play it at 2 speed if you guys need to. Yeah, it's a long one, so I appreciate it. Thank you guys for stopping by. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you did, let me know. If you have more questions, let me know. But that's all I've got for you. So as always, I've been Pinzo. This video's donezo. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.